I was really good at languages. I was aspiring to be an author. So I was aspiring to study literature instead
Oh,
of translation and interpreting. And I wanted to be an author or a literary critic if I couldn't make it and if I couldn't be a famous person. But because I was writing short stories back then, unfortunately, I stopped doing that. But then I studied translation, and of course, the my career path has changed again. And surprisingly, I was more interested. I began to get interested in the interpreting part rather than translation. The questions I had in mind were more or less related with the mental part of it, the cognitive part of it. The questions I had in mind, I knew that all the answers lie in psychology. So that's how I decided to do a PhD in psychology.
what is the eye tracking method?
How eyes move when they translate different texts and different types of texts. But then, when I participated in the experiment, immediately I thought that uh, could this be something that I could use in interpreting? So I argued that in interpreting, the main channel, yes, it is auditory, but the information comes also from the visual channel. So the interpreters are also dealing with the visual material. You can, for example, read PowerPoint slides. With eye tracking, it is very easy and it's very consistent to observe this, and it is an objective way of measuring things, right? So sometimes because people think that I didn't do that, or I'm sure that I followed the PowerPoint presentations, but the eye movements tell a different story. And they're objective. They're objective. So we always say that eyes never lie.
Considering the fact that you are also a co-editor at the Journal of Translation, Cognition and Behaviour from John Benjamin's, could you share a bit from your experience in this role? How is it to be an editor at an international journal?
Yeah, sure. I mean, first of all, for this journal, I can say that I'm a fresh editor. So I've just started. And then I can say that it is a really prestigious role, but with a heavy workload. The best part is that you expand your network uh, in the field. And the other thing that I like is you are always up to date
Yeah.
as to the research in your field. I think it is more about the communication than, of course, there is a scientific merit that you need to have and you need to take into consideration when dealing with the papers. But also, I think the essential thing is communication when you are in such roles, because you have to be kind but assertive at the same time. You need to establish a good communication with the authors, with the reviewers, with the people from the publishing house. So you are at the very center of this communicative network, right? I think there is no shortcut to success. There is no, not just in academy, but in life in general. There is no shortcut. I mean, it might sound as a cliche, but working hard is the only way to get there, right? I mean, and working not just hard, but working persistently, as I said. So you don't have to wait to get published to celebrate it. You can celebrate even the completion of one part in your project, or just writing a paragraph for that day. It doesn't matter. Just go and celebrate. This is my approach. That because it takes so long, everything takes so long. I think also saying no to something is also important, because with so many things going on, you cannot devote to every project. You cannot get involved in every project. So you have to prioritize the things in your life. So you have to say no to some projects, and you have to say to the others.